Once you finish writing code to control an LED and test it and make sure it works, um, you're going to want to save that code. Uh, One problem with saving over previous code as you work through the course is you're going to eventually make some sort of slight mistake like deleting the ellipse here, and then when you go to compile your code, it's not going to work. This instance seems pretty trivial, but as you get hundreds of lines of code in your project, eventually finding those really small errors is a big challenge. So what I encourage you to do is come up with a system whereby you can revert to a previous version of your code. To most people, that means saving several different folders or files, each file a new version of the previous code they've created with the additions. With the Arduino IDE, you have to create a folder that encompasses the file that has the same name. So you can see here I've modeled what the movements section of this course would look like, where I first control an LED, and then I have another folder with another file inside of it for the forward function, and then the stop function, and on and on and on. And you can see that just in the movement section I already have several different folders, and it's probably, hopefully obvious to you now that this system is going to become very cumbersome, and it's going to be very difficult to see where you're at and what step you're on and how to move forward, because you're going to eventually start confusing which folder you're working on. There's a very good way to do this that software developers have come up with. The tool that software developers use to handle this problem is a distributed version control system. Here we're going to be using the program Git. As you can see, Git is a free program that is used to handle a variety of projects. The cool thing about Git is it allows you to have one folder that houses your program, but it allows you to be able to go back and forth between versions of your program and to keep notes about your program. It's a very, very powerful tool, and as you can see down here, it's used by a ton of major companies. So we got Google, Facebook, Microsoft, Android, LinkedIn, Netflix. Uh, if you're going to become a programmer, you need to learn to use this tool. Usually people who use Git are using it in conjunction with a website called GitHub. We're not going to use GitHub because that website requires that all free projects be open source. Instead, we're going to use Bitbucket for the main reason that you can have an unlimited number of private repositories. This is important because if you're creating a program to compete in a competition, you don't want your competitors knowing the code that's going into your robot. So this will allow you to have your own code and keep it secret. To get started, refer to my Create a Bitbucket account slideshow.